Welcome to another deep dive. This time we're going into the world of dream office setups.
Dream office setups, uh-huh.
We're getting inspiration from this tech reviewer on YouTube. Remember Who's the Boss?
Oh, yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah. So he recently documented his entire process of building out like his ideal workspace.
Okay, cool.
And we're not just going to like drool over cool gadgets.
Right.
We're going to try to unpack like the why behind his choices.
I like that.
Like why this keyboard?
Mm-hmm.
Why that chair? What problems was he solving?
That's really cool. Yeah, like reverse engineering a masterpiece.
Oh, yeah.
You see the finished product, but what were the decisions?
Yeah.
The problem-solving moments, the compromises
right.
that led to the setup.
So to hook you right away, imagine a desk that becomes a wireless charger.
Whoa.
We'll get into how that even works.
Okay.
Then there's the saga of finding the perfect chair.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking rejecting multiple industry-leading options.
Okay.
And are you ready for this?
Hip.
Not one, but two giant water features.
Whoa.
Like seriously massive.
Okay, that does sound a little extra.
It does, right?
A little extra. A little extra, but...
But as we dive in,
yeah.
I think you'll see how these seemingly over-the-top choices actually connect back to some pretty deliberate goals he had for this space.
Yeah, right from the start, he lays out a vision.
Mm-hmm.
He wants this Zen aesthetic. So think clean lines,
Yeah.
minimal clutter,
Yeah.
a sense of calm.
Mm-hmm.
Cable management is also huge for him.
Of course, who doesn't love cable management?
Right, no rat's nests allowed.
Yeah.
And finally, he needs the space to work, both for like heads down focus,
Okay.
but also for team brainstorming sessions.
So a flexible space.
Yeah, multi-purpose.
Yeah, that vision is so important. It's like having the blueprint before you start building a house.
Totally.
It guides every decision about what to buy,
Right.
what to prioritize, what to absolutely avoid. Yeah, you don't get distracted by the flashy features
Right, exactly.
that don't actually serve your needs.
Yeah.
Speaking of needs,
Okay.
let's talk about the foundation of any good office,
Okay.
the desk and chair combo.
All right, let's do it.
And here's where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm hooked.
So he actually rejects a popular gamer desk.
Oh, like those ones with all the lights and...
Yeah, the ones with all the lights and the aggressive angles.
Yeah.
He opts for a more minimalist desk with built-in cable management solutions.
Sure.
Yeah, form-following function.
Yeah.
That gamer aesthetic might be cool for some,
Right.
but it doesn't align with his Zen goals.
Makes sense.
Plus, good cable management is crucial for a clutter-free workspace,
For sure.
which we know can really impact focus.
Yeah.
Now, the chair saga is a whole episode on its own.
I was going to say we could talk about chairs for hours.
Yeah. But he starts by looking at Herman Miller chairs.
Okay, yeah. The Rolls-Royce of office chairs.
Yeah. But he ends up choosing a steel case gesture instead.
Interesting.
And this is where the deeper insights come in.
Okay, ready.
He specifically mentions a study that found that people adopt 9 new postures while working
What?
that traditional chairs aren't designed for.
9 new postures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so, like, the gesture addresses these postures,
Oh, okay.
allowing for, like, a wider range of movement and support.
So it's not just about being comfy.
Right.
It's about accommodating
Yeah.
the way people actually work throughout the day.
Right. They're constantly shifting, leaning, reaching.
Yeah.
The gesture allows for that flexibility without sacrificing the ergonomic support.
That's smart. I like that.
So it ties back to that initial vision of a workspace that promotes well-being.
Uh-huh.
If you're physically uncomfortable,
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot harder to focus and be productive.
Makes sense.
Next, we get into the tech that facilitates collaboration.
Okay.
And he unveils this massive interactive screen
Okay.
called the Samsung Flip Pro.
I'm intrigued.
Imagine projecting 6 displays at once onto this thing for team meetings.
Wow.
So it allows for real-time annotation and collaboration.
That's awesome.
So everyone can contribute their ideas directly on the screen.
Very cool.
I think this is so fascinating
Yeah.
because it shows how a single piece of technology can serve multiple purposes.
Totally.
Obviously, it's designed for team collaboration.
Yeah.
But by consolidating multiple screens into one sleek unit,
Right.
it also contributes to his minimalist aesthetic.
So it's win-win.
Again, it's about aligning his choices with his overall vision.
Ah.
And then there's the invisible tech,
Oh, I love invisible tech.
which always gets me excited.
Yeah.
He shows off this under-desk wireless charger.
Okay.
That's mind-blowing.
All right.
You install it under your desktop,
Mm-hmm.
and it essentially turns the entire surface into a charging pad.
Whoa.
No more fumbling for cables.
Right.
Your phone just charges when you set it down.
I am intrigued by the concept.
Right.
But I do have some questions.
Yeah. Is the charging consistent across the entire surface?
Right.
How does it handle heat dissipation?
Okay.
What are the limitations?
Yeah. It's
That's exciting.
leap of faith with new tech.
Right.
Like, it solves one problem,
Yeah,
but potentially introduces others.
for sure.
Okay, so now he's tackled the ergonomics,
Mm-hmm.
the collaboration tech,
Okay.
but something's missing.
What's up?
He wants to bring a bit of nature into the office.
Okay, I like that.
So he sets his sights on a large bonsai tree.
Oh, nice.
But then reality hits.
What?
The prices for real mature bonsai trees
Oh, yeah?
can be astronomical.
They can be pretty pricey.
It's that classic dilemma.
Yeah.
The desire for authentic natural elements versus the practicality of
Wow.
cost and maintenance.
For sure.
So he ultimately decides to go with a high-quality artificial bonsai tree.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's practical, it's visually striking,
Yeah.
doesn't require years of meticulous care.
Sure.
It's a compromise.
Sure. Right.
But it achieves the desired aesthetic without the added burden.
Makes sense.
This brings up an interesting question.
Oh, okay.
Is there a place for compromise when it comes to your ideal workspace? Or are there certain elements that simply must be authentic no matter the cost?
That's a good question.
Okay, I've been teasing these for a while now.
Okay.
Let's talk about the pièce de résistance,
All right, lay it on me.
the water features.
The water features, okay.
Remember I said they were massive?
Yes, you did.
Like bigger than a human adult?
Wow.
These aren't just little desktop fountains.
Right.
These are custom-designed waterfalls.
Oh, my goodness.
And before you dismiss them as pure extravagance,
Okay.
think about the effect they have on the space.
Mm-hmm.
The sound of flowing water is incredibly calming.
Yeah.
It's been shown to actually enhance focus.
It's very zen.
It's another layer to that Zen atmosphere that he's creating.
Right.
He's really thought this through.
Yeah.
The water cascades down this steel mesh for that clean, minimalist look.
Yeah.
The whole thing's enclosed in these sleek wooden panels that blend seamlessly with the rest of the office.
So it all goes together.
Yeah, it's definitely a statement piece,
It is.
but it's also functional.
I like that.
It's a great example of how he's merging these seemingly opposite ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You have this natural element of water,
Yeah.
but presented in this very modern, almost technological way.
I see that.
And that attention to detail
Yeah.
is something we see throughout his entire setup.
Okay.
Even with something as seemingly mundane as a keyboard and mouse,
Right.
he's incredibly meticulous.
Okay.
Get this, he went through 7 different keyboards
7 keyboards.
before finding the one.
Wow. Okay, that sounds a little
It does, right?
excessive, maybe.
Excessive.
But it does highlight how important it is to find tools that truly work for you.
Yeah.
We all have different preferences when
Well.
it comes to feel, responsiveness, sound. And these seemingly small details can have a huge impact on your comfort and workflow.
Yeah, for sure. The winner ended up being this low-profile mechanical keyboard. He wanted the satisfying thunk
Yeah.
of mechanical keys, but also something relatively quiet,
Right.
since he works in a shared space.
Makes sense.
And it's not just the keyboard.
Oh.
He's equally discerning about the mouse,
Okay.
the wrist,
Yeah?
rest.
Well, it's everything. It makes you think, right?
Yeah.
What are the tools you use every day?
Yeah.
Are they truly serving you?
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's time to reevaluate that old keyboard or mouse that's been causing you wrist pain.
So we've got the desk, the chair, the nature elements,
Okay.
but the saga doesn't end there.
It doesn't.
He's also obsessed with cable management,
I love it.
like truly obsessed.
Okay, I'm here for it.
And this is where things get both hilarious and impressive. Remember, he has sit-stand desks,
Yeah.
which add an extra layer of complexity to cable management.
Oh.
You need a system that can accommodate the desk moving up and down
Yeah,
without everything becoming a tangled mess.
for sure.
And his solution is brilliant.
Okay.
He actually uses a rug to conceal a central power outlet.
What?
It's hidden in plain sight,
Okay.
and it keeps all the cables from snaking across the floor.
That's so smart.
It's like such a clever use of everyday objects for a specific purpose.
Right.
And it reinforces the idea that good design isn't always about expensive gadgets or fancy solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's about seeing the potential in things you already have.
Totally.
He also uses these cable sleeves to bundle smaller wires together, creating a cleaner look.
Right.
And of course, there's strategic use of double-sided tape
Oh,
to keep everything in place.
It's like cable management as art.
And let's be honest, for many of us, cable management feels like an insurmountable task.
It does.
But his dedication shows that it's achievable with a little creativity and persistence. And the result is a visually calming workspace, free from the distraction of tangled cords.
Absolutely.
Speaking of visual calm,
Okay.
let's talk about the Acoustic Oasis he created.
An acoustic oasis. I love it.
He installs this custom moss wall
Oh, wow.
for acoustic dampening.
So smart.
It's a stunning example of how functionality can be beautiful.
I love that.
We often think of acoustic panels as these like bland industrial things.
Right.
But a moss wall adds texture, color, a connection to nature,
It's great.
all while serving the practical purpose of absorbing sound.
You don't have to sacrifice style for practicality.
Right.
You can have both.
And it shows that.
And it highlights the importance of considering all the senses in a workspace.
Yeah,
We often focus on the visual,
right.
minimizing clutter, optimizing lighting, but sound plays a huge role in our ability to focus
sure.
and feel comfortable.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've got the ergonomic foundation, the collaborative tech, the nature elements, the cable management mastery,
Yeah.
even the acoustic oasis.
What else could there be?
But he doesn't stop there.
Oh, there's more.
This is where we start to see those extra details
Okay.
that really make this a dream office.
All right, I'm ready.
We're talking about elements that go beyond pure functionality
Yeah,
into the realm of well-being and personal preference.
I like that.
And one of those elements is a fluid stance balance board.
A balance board.
He actually had one in his previous setup and says it's a game changer.
Okay.
It allows him to stand while working,
All right.
keeps his core engaged,
Yeah.
and basically provides like a low-impact workout throughout the day.
So you're getting a little exercise in
Yeah.
while you work.
Yeah. It's such a smart way to combat the negative effects of sitting for long periods.
Right.
We often think about ergonomics in terms of chairs and desks,
Yeah.
but incorporating movement is crucial for maintaining good posture, circulation, and overall health.
It's true.
And for those days when he wants to up the activity level,
Okay.
he has a desk cycle tucked away under one of the desks.
A desk cycle.
Yeah, it's like a compact under-desk elliptical
Oh, wow.
that allows him to pedal while working.
Sneaking in a workout.
Yeah, like sneaking a workout into your workday without even realizing it.
That's awesome.
And it demonstrates how we can find these creative solutions to integrate movement into our routines, even if we don't have a dedicated exercise space.
Yeah.
And speaking of sneaky solutions,
Okay.
remember that epic cable management situation with the rug hiding the central power outlet?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, there's more.
His cable management skills are practically legendary at this point.
that.
It's like he's waging a one-man war on cable clutter,
Yeah.
and he's winning.
He is winning.
He uses cable sleeves
Yep.
to bundle smaller wires together, making them look like one clean, thick cable.
Right.
And he's not afraid to use double-sided tape strategically
Oh, yeah.
to keep everything in place.
Smart.
It's inspiring in a way.
It is.
It shows that with a little planning and effort,
Yeah.
we can conquer those cable monsters that lurk beneath our desks.
Right.
And the result is a workspace that feels more organized, peaceful, and conducive to focus.
For sure.
We've explored the tech, the ergonomics, the cable management,
Okay.
but there's one last piece of this puzzle that we need to address.
What's that?
The Samsung Flip Pro.
Oh, yeah.
That massive interactive screen he introduced earlier.
Uh-huh.
He initially went all out and ordered the 86-inch version,
Whoa.
but it turned out to be a bit too overwhelming for this space.
Oh, so bigger isn't always better.
It's refreshing
Yeah.
to see someone admit they overshot the mark
Uh-huh.
and course correct.
Yeah.
It reminds us that it's okay to adapt and prioritize what truly works for the space,
Yeah.
even if it means letting go of that initial grand vision.
For sure.
He ended up swapping it for the 55-inch model, which he says works perfectly as a digital whiteboard
Uh-huh.
and like a versatile screen for presentations and collaborations.
I like it.
It's a good reminder that even when designing our dream workspaces,
Yeah.
flexibility and adaptability are key.
Right.
Needs change. Priorities shift.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to be willing to adjust our plans
Uh-huh.
to ensure we're creating a space that truly serves us.
Makes sense.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
The monitors, the tech that powers it all, the ergonomic considerations, the cable management saga, even the fitness elements he's incorporated.
Okay.
But there's one element that we haven't explored in detail yet.
Okay.
And it's perhaps the most controversial and intriguing aspect of his entire setup.
I'm ready.
Those massive water features.
The water feature.
They're definitely a statement piece.
Yeah.
And they've sparked a lot of discussion online.
I bet.
Some people love them. Others think they're completely over the top.
Right.
But they represent a bold choice.
They do.
And they speak to his desire to create a truly immersive and multisensory workspace.
Okay, let's dive into those.
Yeah, let's dive into those.
In part 2.
We'll be back in just a bit to explore those and continue our journey through Mr. Boss's dream office setup.
All right, so those water features.
Yeah, those water feature.
He calls them his personal favorite thing about the office.
I bet.
But he admits they're high maintenance.
Oh, yeah?
We're talking humidity control, waterproof paint. It's a commitment.
Yeah, a serious commitment.
What strikes me is that he's fully aware of the challenges, yet he still goes for it.
Right.
He acknowledges the complexity, but ultimately decides the benefits outweigh the drawbacks.
Yeah, I think that speaks to his intentionality.
Right.
And his willingness to invest in what truly matters to him.
Yeah.
Even if it's a bit unconventional.
Conventional for sure.
So what are the benefits that justify having 2 giant waterfalls in your office?
Right, like why waterfalls?
He compares watching the water cascade to the mesmerizing effect of staring into a fire.
Oh.
There's this calming, almost meditative quality to it.
I can see that.
And then there's the sound.
Right.
That gentle, constant rush of water adds to that zen atmosphere he's cultivated throughout the space.
It's about considering the impact of all the senses in a workspace.
Yeah.
We often focus on the visual, minimizing clutter, optimizing lighting.
Right.
But sound plays a huge role in our ability to focus.
Sure.
They feel comfortable.
Yeah. And these water features add another dimension to the office.
You do.
Creating a multi-sensory experience that goes beyond the purely visual.
It's taking it to the next level.
Yeah. He describes the design as minimal, which is kind of funny considering their size.
Right, a little ironic.
But the water flows down a steel mesh.
Okay.
Creating this clean, uninterrupted sheet.
Yeah.
And the whole thing's enclosed in these sleek wooden panels that blend seamlessly with the rest of the office aesthetic.
It's all coming together.
It's definitely extra, but it's done in a very tasteful way.
It's that fusion of nature and technology that I find so fascinating.
Yeah.
He's taken a natural element, water, and incorporated it into the workspace in a way that feels both organic and modern.
Right, and I love how it shows that functionality and aesthetics aren't mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
You can have both.
You can have both.
Okay, so we've explored every corner of Mr. Boss's dream office setup.
It's quite a sip.
From the ergonomic foundation to the collaborative tech, from the nature-inspired elements to the cable management mastery, we've seen how he's carefully considered every detail.
Every little detail.
What stands out to you as the most important takeaway from this deep dive?
For me, it's the intentionality behind every single choice.
Yeah.
He didn't just buy a bunch of cool gadgets and call it a day.
Right.
He thought deeply about how each element would contribute to his overall goals for the space.
Promoting focus, encouraging collaboration, enhancing well-being. I think it's a powerful reminder that our workspaces can be so much more than just places where we get things done.
Right.
They can be extensions of ourselves.
Yeah.
Reflecting our values, priorities, and aspirations.
Absolutely. And it's not about replicating his exact setup.
Right.
We all have different needs and preferences.
For sure.
It's about taking inspiration from his process and applying it to our own workspaces.
Yeah, what one small change could you make?
Yeah.
To enhance your focus, boost your creativity, or simply make your workday a little more enjoyable.
Doesn't have to be a giant water feature.
Although, wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be pretty cool.
But yeah, even small adjustments can make a big difference.
Right. Maybe it's decluttering your desk, investing in a better chair, adding a few plants, or experimenting with different lighting.
The key is to be mindful of your space.
Right.
And how it impacts your work and well-being.
That's such a great point.
And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Mr. Boss's dream office setup.
It's been quite a journey.
We hope you found it insightful, inspiring, and maybe even a little bit entertaining.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating exploration.
Yeah.
And we hope you feel empowered to create workspaces that truly support your productivity and well-being.
Thanks for joining us.
And a huge thanks to Miss Boss for sharing his incredible setup with the world.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
Okay, so diving into those monitors.
Yeah, let's talk monitors.
He doesn't hold back here.
No, he does not.
He goes for not one, but two 40-inch curved ultra-wide monitors.
Oh, my goodness.
And we're not talking your average screens.
Yeah.
These are 5K resolution with 120 hertz refresh rate.
For those who aren't fluent in monitor speak,
Right.
that basically means these are top-of-the-line displays,
Yeah.
offering incredible clarity,
Mm-hmm.
smooth motion, and a super immersive viewing experience.
Exactly. And when you consider the type of work he does,
Yeah.
video editing, tech reviews,
Yeah.
it makes sense to invest in monitors that can handle demanding visuals.
Right.
And deliver a truly immersive experience.
But it's not just about the raw specs.
Right.
It's about how he integrates these behemoth monitors into his workspace.
Okay.
So he swaps out the standard stands
Mm-hmm.
for something called Ergotron HX, articulating arms,
Articulating arms.
which sound way more intimidating than they actually are.
Yeah, a little bit.
They're basically super flexible arms
Okay.
that allow him to adjust the monitor's height angle,
Yeah.
even distance from his desk, with ease.
Makes sense.
It's all about having that precise control over your viewing experience.
Right.
He talks about pushing the monitors back to reduce eye strain,
Okay.
rotating them to avoid glare,
Mm-hmm.
or adjusting their height,
Hmm.
depending on whether sitting or standing.
So really customizing it.
Yeah, and it ties back to that broader theme of ergonomics
Yeah.
we've been discussing.
Yeah.
It's not just about having a good chair.
Mm-hmm.
It's about creating a workspace that adapts to you
Right.
and allows you to move freely and comfortably throughout the day.
Makes sense.
And you know what else those articulating arms help with?
What's that?
Cable management.
Oh, of course.
Remember his obsession with hiding every single wire?
How could I forget?
Well, these arms make it easier to route those cables neatly behind the monitors,
Okay.
keeping the desktop clutter-free.
Smart. Very smart.
It's like he's playing a game of visual Tetris,
I like that.
making sure every piece fits together seamlessly.
Mm-hmm.
Not only does everything look clean and organized,
Yeah.
but it also contributes to a more functional and efficient workspace.
Makes sense.
Speaking of efficiency,
Okay.
he powers this entire setup with a MacBook Pro,
MacBook Pro. Okay.
specifically choosing it for its portability.
Makes sense.
He mentions that he needs to seamlessly transition between his home office
Uh-huh.
and working on the go.
Right. That portability factor is key
Yeah,
for a lot of people these days.
we're no longer tethered to a single desk. We work from coffee shops, co-working spaces, even airplanes.
Right. Gotta have a good laptop.
Having a powerful yet portable machine like a MacBook Pro allows for that flexibility.
For sure.
He also drops an interesting nugget about the MacBook's processor.
Okay. What's that?
He hasn't noticed a significant difference
Oh,
between the M2 and M4 chips for his workflow,
interesting.
which I think is a valuable insight for anyone considering a MacBook upgrade.
Yeah.
It suggests that the latest and greatest isn't always necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the performance gains
Yeah.
might not justify the cost.
Right. Especially if your current setup is already meeting your needs.
Exactly.
It's a reminder to be mindful of the hype cycle
For sure.
and choose tech that truly aligns with your specific workflow.
All right, so we've covered the foundation. The monitor is the tech that drives it all.
Okay.
But there's more to this dream office
Oh, there's more.
than just functionality and high-end gadgets.
All right. I'm listening.
Minhu's Athabos also prioritizes his well-being and incorporates elements that promote movement and a healthier lifestyle.
So it's not just about the tech.
Right, it's about the whole experience.
The whole experience. Yeah.
And this is where we see the dream aspect truly come alive.
I like that.
It's about creating a space that not only supports your work,
Mm-hmm.
but also enhances your overall quality of life.
Makes sense.
And one of the key pieces in this puzzle is that fluid stance balance board.
The balance board. Okay.
I mentioned earlier,
Uh-huh.
he says it's pricey,
Yeah, they can be.
but worth every penny.
Worth it.
Allows him to stand comfortably while working,
Yeah.
keeps his core engaged,
Mm-hmm.
provides a subtle workout throughout the day.
It's like sneaking in a workout without even realizing it.
And for those days when he wants to up the activity level,
Okay.
he has that desk cycle tucked away under one of the desks.
Desk cycle, right?
A compact under-desk elliptical
Cool.
that allows him to pedal while working.
So he's got options.
Yeah, he's got options for staying active.
That like,
And speaking of sneaky solutions,
yeah.
remember that epic cable management situation with the rug
Mm-hmm.
hiding the central power outlet?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, there's more?
His cable management skills are practically legendary at this point.
I can imagine.
It's like he's waging a one-man war on cable flutter, and he's winning.
He is winning.
He uses cable sleeves to bundle smaller wires together,
Okay.
making them look like one clean, thick cable.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to use double-sided tape strategically
Right. Gotta have that double-sided tape.
to keep everything in place.
It's inspiring in a way.
Yeah.
It shows that with a little planning and effort,
All right.
we can conquer those cable monsters that lurk beneath our desks.
Right.
And the result is a workspace that feels more organized, peaceful, and conducive to focus.
So we've explored the tech, the ergonomics, the cable management.
Okay.
But there's one last piece of this puzzle that we need to address.
What's that?
The Samsung Flip Pro. That massive interactive screen we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So he initially went all out and ordered the 86-inch version.
The 86-inch. Wow.
But it turned out to be a bit too overwhelming for the space.
Sometimes bigger isn't always better.
Right. It's refreshing to see someone admit they overshot the mark and course correct.
Yeah. It's good to be flexible.
It reminds us that it's okay to adapt
Uh-huh.
and prioritize what truly works for the space.
Right.
Even if it means letting go of that initial grand vision.
For sure.
He ended up swapping it for the 55-inch model,
Okay.
which he says works perfectly as a digital whiteboard
Makes sense.
and a versatile screen for presentations and collaborations.
Like it.
It's a good reminder that even when designing our dream workspaces,
Mm-hmm.
flexibility and adaptability are key.
Yeah.
Needs change. Priorities shift.
Right.
And sometimes we have to be willing to adjust our plans
Yeah.
to ensure we're creating a space that truly serves us.
It's all about making it work for you.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
The monitors, the tech that powers it all the ergonomic considerations, the
Yeah.
cable management saga, even the fitness elements he's incorporated.
Cute.
But there's one element that we haven't explored in detail yet,
Oh, what's that?
and it's perhaps the most controversial and intriguing aspect of his entire setup.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
Those massive water features.
The water features.
They're definitely a statement piece.
Oh, yeah.
And they've sparked a lot of discussion online.
I bet.
Some people love them.
Mm-hmm.
Others think they're completely over the top,
Right.
but they represent a bold choice.
Yeah, they do.
And they speak to his desire to create a truly immersive and multi-sensory workspace.
Okay, let's dive into those and then wrap up this deep dive.
All right, let's dive into the deep end, pun intended, and talk about these water features.
Okay.
So he calls them his personal favorite thing about the office.
I can see why.
But he admits they're high maintenance.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking humidity control, waterproof paint. It's a serious commitment.
It is a commitment.
What strikes me is that he's fully aware of the challenges,
Uh-huh.
yet he still goes for it.
Right.
He acknowledges the complexity,
Yeah.
but ultimately decides the benefits outweigh the drawbacks.
I think that speaks to his intentionality
Yeah.
and his willingness to invest in what truly matters to him, even if it's a bit unconventional.
Right, even if it's a little bit extra.
A little bit extra.
So what are the benefits that justify having two giant waterfalls in your office?
Right. Like, why waterfalls?
Well, he compares watching the water cascade to the mesmerizing effect of staring into a fire.
Oh, okay.
There's this calming, almost meditative quality to it.
Yeah.
And then there's the sound.
Right. The sound of water.
That gentle, constant rush of water
Mm-hmm.
adds to that zen atmosphere he's cultivated throughout the space.
It's a brilliant example of considering the impact of all the senses in a workspace.
Right.
We often focus on the visual,
Yeah.
minimizing clutter, optimizing lighting,
Uh-huh.
but sound plays a huge role in our ability to focus and feel comfortable. For sure. These water features add another dimension to the office,
Yeah.
creating a multi-sensory experience that goes beyond the purely visual.
He describes the design as minimal, which is kind of funny considering their size.
A little bit ironic.
But the water flows down this steel mesh,
Yeah.
creating this clean, uninterrupted sheet.
Yeah.
And the whole thing's enclosed in these sleek wooden panels that blend seamlessly with the rest of the office aesthetic.
It's all coming together.
It's definitely extra, but it's done in a very tasteful way.
It's that fusion of nature and technology that I find so fascinating. He's taken a natural element, water, and incorporated it into the workspace in a way that feels both organic and modern.
And it's a reminder that functionality and aesthetics aren't mutually exclusive.
Right, you can have both?
You can have both. Right. So we've explored every corner of Who's the Boss's dream office setup.
It's quite a setup.
From the ergonomic foundation to the collaborative tech, from the nature-inspired elements to the cable management mastery. We've seen how he's carefully considered every detail.
Every little detail.
What stands out to you as the most important takeaway from this deep dive?
For me, it's the intentionality behind every single choice.
Ah,
He didn't just buy a bunch of cool gadgets and call it a day.
right.
He thought deeply about how each element would contribute to his overall goals for the space.
Yeah, promoting focus, encouraging collaboration,
Yeah.
enhancing well-being.
Exactly. It's a powerful reminder that our workspaces can be so much more than just places where we get things done.
Yeah.
They can be extensions of ourselves, reflecting our values, priorities, and aspirations.
Absolutely. And it's not about replicating his exact setup.
Right.
We all have different needs and preferences.
For sure.
It's about taking inspiration from his process
Uh-huh.
and applying it to our own workspaces.
Yeah. What one small change could you make to enhance your focus, boost your creativity, or simply make your workday a little more enjoyable?
Right? It doesn't have to be a giant water feature, although wouldn't that be amazing?
It would be pretty cool.
But even small adjustments can make a big difference.
Right. Maybe it's decluttering your desk, investing in a better chair, adding a few plants, or experimenting with different lighting.
The key is to be mindful of your space
Right.
and how it impacts your work and well-being.
That's such a great point.
And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Marfe's boss's dream office setup.
It's been quite a journey.
We hope you found it insightful, inspiring, and maybe even a little bit entertaining.
It's been a fascinating exploration, and we hope you feel empowered to create workspaces that truly support your productivity and well-being. Thanks for joining us.
And a huge thanks to Marfe's boss for sharing his incredible setup with the world. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.